Brad Pitt has long been one of acting's leading lights, but some reports have suggested that there may be a dark side to this Hollywood icon. Thanks to that chiseled jaw and charming personality, Brad Pitt's love life has always been in the public eye. Understandably, after Pitt married Jennifer Aniston in 2000, fans imagined the two actors would live happily ever after. However, that all came to an end when they finalized their divorce in October 2005. Notably, Pitt had met Angelina Jolie on the set of Mr. and Mrs. Smith in the summer of 2004. While Pitt claimed that there was no overlap between his romances with Jolie and Aniston during an interview with W magazine, subsequent interviews would seemingly paint a messy picture. While speaking to the New York Times in 2008, Jolie revealed she was excited to one day show her children Mr. and Mrs. Smith, explaining, "Not a lot of people get to see a movie where their parents fell in love." Pitt appeared to confirm Jolie's versions of events during an interview with Rolling Stone, also in 2008, telling the publication that Mr. and Mrs. Smith was his favorite movie of Jolie's. The reason? Because I fell in love. Despite his initial protestations, both Pitt and Jolie have since hinted that they did, indeed, fall in love on the set of the 2005 action comedy.
I like the tango, and I think it's sexy.
Pitt, of course, was indeed very much married at the time. Brad Pitt and Jennifer Aniston's romance officially came to an end in January 2005. They released a joint statement to People magazine saying, "We would like to explain that our separation is not the result of any of the speculation reported by the tabloid media." While their initial PR suggested that their split didn't involve anyone else, it would later transpire that Pitt's connection with Jolie was perhaps closer than he had led his wife to believe. During an interview with Vanity Fair in September 2005, one of Aniston's friends explained that she had accepted Pitt's insistence that Jolie wasn't a factor in the breakup. The friend told the publication, "She's not suggesting she didn't know there was an enchantment and a friendship, but Brad was saying this is not about another woman." Of course, it would later transpire that perhaps more had been going on between Pitt and Jolie than was initially detailed. In 2006, Jolie revealed that she had been excited to get to work every day while filming Mr. and Mrs. Smith because of her developing relationship with Pitt. Aniston would later respond to Jolie's comments, telling Vogue in 2008, "There was stuff printed there that was definitely from a time when I was unaware that it was happening. The stuff about how she couldn't wait to get to work every day, that was really uncool." During her candid interview with Vanity Fair in 2005, Jennifer Aniston shared some revealing details about her relationship with Brad Pitt, including the fact that he seemingly moved on so quickly with Angelina Jolie. Of his decision to go public with his new relationship so soon after their breakup, she said, "There's a sensitivity chip that's missing." Discussing a photo shoot Pitt did with Jolie for W magazine in July 2005 titled Domestic Bliss, in which the pair posed as a happy family with multiple children, one of Aniston's friends told the publication, "He's made some choices that have been tremendously insensitive." Aniston also used the interview to explore her feelings about her divorce and how Pitt's behavior in the press post-split was seemingly contrary to everything he'd told her prior. She told the outlet, "There's a lot I don't understand, a lot I don't know and probably never will know, really. So I choose to take away with me as much integrity and dignity and respect for what that relationship was as I can. I feel as if I'm trying to scrounge around and pick up the pieces in the midst of this media circus." When rumors about Brad Pitt's relationship with Angelina Jolie started to swirl, many people started taking sides, which sometimes involved wearing t-shirts emblazoned with the words Team Aniston or Team Jolie. Tabloid reports also started to suggest that Pitt and Aniston's split was due to him wanting to start a family, while Aniston was supposedly firmly focused on her career. Years later, however, the truth would come out, with Aniston revealing in a 2022 interview with Allure that she'd undergone years of IVF treatments, but was ultimately unsuccessful in having a baby.
So many of my friends have been through it, have struggled with fertility. It's an excruciating situation.
One of Aniston's friends addressed the fact that Pitt appeared to fare better in the media during the couple's divorce, particularly when it came to the idea of having children. They told Vanity Fair, "When Brad and Jen were in the marriage, having a baby was not his priority, ever. Whereas for Jen, it was much more immediate." Unfortunately, Aniston had to endure years of painful speculation, and Pitt never attempted to change that narrative. As well as allegedly starting a relationship with another woman while he was married to Jennifer Aniston, Brad Pitt was also said to be emotionally unavailable during his marriage. According to Aniston's interview with Vanity Fair in 2005, Pitt was apparently absent during some of the moments when she needed him most. Aniston told the publication, "He just wasn't there for me." Notably, Pitt apparently missed the taping of the very final episode of Friends, which reportedly shocked Aniston's close friends, especially as the event was such a cultural and personal milestone for the star. Speaking to Vanity Fair, Aniston simply noted, "He was working." She She also reflected on her marriage, suggesting that she would have made some changes if she had the chance to do it all over again. Aniston said, "I'd take more vacations, getting away from work, enjoying each other in different environments, but there was always something preventing it. Either he was working or I was." Sadly, that distance appeared to negatively impact Pitt and Aniston's marriage, and Pitt allegedly grew even more distant from his wife as time went on. Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt officially confirmed their relationship in January 2006, when Jolie's 2 adopted children, son Maddox and daughter Zahara, changed their surnames to Jolie Pitt. In May 2006, Jolie gave birth to the couple's 3rd child, Shiloh, and in March 2007, Jolie adopted the couple's 4th child, son Pax from Vietnam. Finally, in July 2008, Pitt and Jolie welcomed fraternal twins, daughter Vivian and son Knox. 6 years later, in August 2014, Pitt and Jolie decided to tie the knot surrounded by their 6 children. Sadly though, the fairy tale didn't last, and Jolie filed for divorce in September 2016, citing irreconcilable differences.
We will always be a family, and we will get through this time and hopefully be a stronger family for it.
It was soon reported that Jolie had filed for divorce following an incident that took place on a plane journey between France and California, which involved the couple's children. It was later revealed in a legal filing made by Jolie's team. Pitt choked one of the children and struck another in the face. Some of the children pleaded with Pitt to stop. They were all frightened. Many were crying. In FBI records obtained by Rolling Stone, it was ultimately determined by the United States Attorney's Office that Pitt wouldn't face charges for the alleged violence. According to further details revealed in the FBI report, the incident was so serious that Jolie said she felt like a hostage on the plane. In 2022, court papers filed as part of a case between Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt revealed additional details about the incident that occurred on that private plane journey in September 2016. The filing revealed that Pitt had actually attempted to get Jolie to sign a non-disclosure agreement that would have prohibited her from speaking out about his alleged abuses beyond what was required in a courtroom. The exchange? Pitt would buy Jolie's stake in a co-owned vineyard in France. Instead, Jolie sold her stake in Chateau Miraval, which produces Miraval wine and champagne, to Stoli Group subsidiary Tenute Del Mondo in 2021. In a statement to CNN, Jolie's attorney Paul Murphy said, "Still today, and in the 7 years since that fateful plane ride, he personally has never publicly denied that it happened. The reality is that Pitt refused to complete the Miraval sale with Jolie unless she agreed to being silenced about the abuse. Jolie instead chose to go public with the allegation that Pitt reportedly tried to get her to sign a non-disclosure agreement, seemingly refusing to stay quiet about what allegedly occurred between them in 2016. Brad Pitt founded the Make It Right Foundation in 2007 with the aim of providing homes to people in need. Following the devastation caused by Hurricane Katrina in 2005, Pitt was inspired to help rebuild the community in the lower 9th Ward of New Orleans, Louisiana, by providing housing for people who had lost their homes during the tragic event. Sadly, Pitt's plans weren't completely successful. In 2018, it was reported that a class action lawsuit had been brought against the actor and his foundation, citing unfair trade practices, breach of contract, and fraud. Pitt's lawyers attempted to get his name removed from the lawsuit despite the actor's involvement in the project. The homes built by the Make It Right Foundation reportedly suffered from a number of serious issues, including foundation problems, water leaks, and black mold.
So, ticking time bomb.
In 2022, Pitt and his foundation agreed to pay a $20.5 million settlement to residents, which equated to approximately $25,000 for each of the 107 homeowners on the site. It was also revealed that California-based nonprofit Global Green would be footing the bill for the settlement, with the organization holding close ties to Pitt and Make It Right. In a statement, Pitt said, "I am incredibly grateful for Global Green's willingness to step up and provide this important support for the lower 9th families." Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie's lengthy divorce and unsettled custody battle meant that Jolie retained sole custody of their 6 children, with Pitt receiving visitation rights only. Following allegations that Pitt may have verbally and physically abused Jolie and their children during a flight in September 2016, it's perhaps unsurprising that Pitt allegedly doesn't have the best relationship with some of his kids. In November 2023, it was reported that Jolie and Pitt's son Pax had posted a scathing message aimed at his dad on his Instagram stories on Father's Day in 2020. He wrote, "You have made the lives of those closest to me a constant hell. You may tell yourself and the world whatever you want, but the truth will come to light someday." Pax ended the post by writing, "So happy Father's Day, you awful human being." Pax also alleged that the children were scared of Pitt, writing, "You time and again prove yourself to be a terrible and despicable person." In reaction to the post, sources claimed that Pac's statements were untrue and that Pitt has nothing but respect for his 6 children. In October 2023, it was reported that Pitt had reconciled with all of his children except for his eldest son, Maddox. As they engaged in a years-long custody battle, Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie's split only got messier. In August 2018, the pair hit the headlines once again when Jolie and her attorney alleged that Pitt had avoided paying as much child support as he should have. In a legal brief, Jolie's attorney wrote, "As of present, Pitt has paid no meaningful child support since separation." However, Pitt's lawyers were quick to refute Jolie's allegations, and they filed their own brief in response. The actor's lawyers wrote in a court filing, "Pitt adamantly disputes the contention that he has not paid significant child support. Pitt has previously loaned Jolie $8 million to assist her in purchasing her current residence and has paid over $1.3 million in bills for the benefit of Jolie and the minor children." Considering Pitt's sometimes challenging relationships with some of his children, it's likely that Jolie's lawsuit hit a sensitive nerve. Unfortunately, the claims were simply another step in the couple's already contentious divorce.